everyone. Happy Tuesday evening. I'm Nichol Spohr. Welcome to my channel. We often do some paper crafting on Tuesday evenings, but we're going to switch it up this week and we're going to do a little felt stitching with my new Patchwork Boo felt stitch and create dies with spellbinders. I had put a poll in Patreon, and that one is what won, but I really wanted to come and do some live stitching, answer questions, talk all about the dies. You can use them with paper, with felt, whatever you like there, and really just kind of talk about embellishing beyond just the felt die. So I'm going to share a few additional ideas in addition to what I have shared here in the edited videos here on my channel. Oh, hello everybody. So good to see everyone. So, we'll see how far we get this evening. If it looks like it's gonna go on too late, I may wrap it up, but we shall see how we do. Oh, good. I'm so glad that this is going to be a good wind down for a lot of you. I see a couple of you saying that. I am so glad that you can kick back, relax, and spend a little time with me. All right, let's see. They are available for purchase now, Margaret. I don't have any of my samples here with me. I'm going to pick them up when I am in Phoenix this weekend. So hopefully I can bring those back and share those live in person with you guys. And so we're just going to stitch another example right here on camera tonight. But yes, all of the Halloween collection is available now. The Christmas collection isn't out quite yet. The new Christmas collection. There are some previous dies in the Christmas collection, and Brennan will pop those on the screen. There is an I Want It All bundle for all 4 new SKUs. Then there is the individual SKUs as well. Yay! So glad that you get to catch a live. Awesome. Paper Hugs by Kim. All right. So I am going to pop over here. I'm going to dive right in today, and I'm going to show the dies. So I actually have mine stored on a large magnet sheet. The Patchwork Boo dies are these dies right here. So I'm going to take the dies that are part of the set off. And I do want to mention that while you can make a little patchwork ghost with these dies, you can absolutely not as well. So it's very versatile. Okay, I want to make sure I get all of the dies so we can talk about those before we start creating. So there is a front of the ghost, a back of the ghost. So I have die cut both of those. And you'll notice that the front of Patchwork Boo has spots for the patchwork along the edges. Nothing for that center piece. We'll talk about that in a minute. The spots that line up with the button eyes and then the mouth. The back of Patchwork Boo is just the solid piece so that you'll stitch the two together once they are cut. But if you don't want to do a patchwork ghost, cut 2 of these and stitch these together, and then you can embellish however you can embellish as much or as little as you want. So I love that about this set. Then we have the patchwork pieces, which the 3 along the sides are these 3 right here. Oh, good. Valerie said she ordered her ghost and she can't wait to get it. That's awesome. And then the option, well, it's all optional, truthfully, but there's a few extra optional pieces, and that is going to be like this little rectangular patchwork that you can put in the center of your ghost if you want to, or you could use it on anything else for that matter. If you want to make your witch hat have some patchwork, I think that would be cute too. Or you can layer the pieces. There's also the piece that has the heart, and then there is the heart. The heart is great for all kinds of things, so you can really customize it however you like. You're stitching Fright Night Feline while you're watching. Awesome, Kathy. I love that. Okay, and then, of course, there's the button eyes. Now, you can cut felt buttons, and for all of my other samples, I did. But for tonight's example, we're going to talk about all the fun ways to embellish, which is kind of no surprise to anybody here, my favorite thing. And I actually took real buttons, and we're going to stitch those in place onto our ghost. And this button pack happens to be from Just Another Button Company, and Brennan will pop the link down below. I get asked a lot, where do you get your little tiny buttons for this kind of thing? I get them from Just Another Button Company. They have different sizes. These happen to be from the multi-pack. They just happen to be about the same size, I thought. Maybe slightly smaller, but I think they're still gonna line up good, from, or this about the same size as the ones you would die cut. So that is kind of where we're starting tonight. Now, I wanna talk about some other things I pulled out before we start stitching. So, I am only gonna do a single patch, I'm not gonna layer them tonight. Well, I am gonna layer the heart, I should say. We're not gonna layer multiple rectangle patches. But I am going to stitch the patches to our ghost. And then I pulled out some fun things to embellish my ghost with. And the first thing I pulled out what were these rainbow blossoms embellishments. They're little flower sequins that you can attach with seed beads to your project. And that is makes it so fun. You could do these in any color. I happen to have this pack and I think they're gonna work great. I tried to pick the white. I think I even picked a little bit of the pink because I think it can have a little bit of that copper feel. So maybe a little bit more Halloween. And then I did pull out an assortment of seed beads that I got from Hobby Lobby. Truth be told, I'll probably use these kind of white colored ones. White Ceylon. I think that's how you say that. But there's also some gold, which might be kind of cute as well. So you might have to pick up some seed beads from a craft store or big box craft store or whatever, but those can always be a great addition. Then for my little flower seed beads, I wanted some little leaves. And these actually are from the Floral Beehive set from Felt Stitch and Create at Spellbinders, and these little leaves go with the beehive, but they are so nice and teeny tiny that I thought that they would work really cute on here. So we're going to use them on our little patchwork boo tonight. So we're going to make kind of a soft and pretty, let me see where I can put that, a soft and pretty little ghost this evening. Oh, awesome, Risa. So what we're going to do first is we're going to completely set aside our embellishments for a minute. We're even going to set aside our eyes. We're going to take the back of our ghost and we're just going to move that clear out of the way. And we're going to talk about stitching the patches on our ghost. Now, one question I get sometimes is that the holes are hard to see. They tend to stick. Just like our detailed dies, cutting, these can cut paper too. They're the same kind of dies. But just like some of the more detailed dies don't always pop out all those little pieces, same thing happens with felt. I am not good at popping mine out, but you can take like a piercing tool or whatever, and you can make it a little easier for you to see if you want to, just like so. I'm going to do it up here too. Especially while I'm on camera, it might be helpful. But when I'm just stitching, I just pierce right through. I don't even work too hard to get those out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stitch these in place. If you're going to embellish any of the felt pieces, the front of them, if you're going to make them an ornament or something dimensional, you're going to want to do all of your embellishing first, and then you're going to want to stitch the two pieces together. So I've got a little bit of white floss here. I think I'm actually using 38. Let me look. I can tell you. I'm using 3865. I really wanted to use 3866, but apparently I was out. So we're using 3865. It honestly doesn't matter. If you've watched any of my videos where I talk about this, I generally just try to pick something that coordinates. It doesn't matter a whole lot. I've stitched one of these pieces on. So what I'm going to do is, oh, I should have pierced these too. We're actually just going to stitch the inner part of the design and not the outer edge, because we're going to catch that outer edge when we stitch the two halves together. see. I am going to Amy, I'm not sure what you're asking. Something is wrong. Can't it on live? What issue are you having? I'm going to start out here on the edge, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure it's lined up, first of all. Did I not get this lined up? Starting is always the hardest part, I feel like. So I'm just going to come up through those holes now that I have it lined up, and I'm just going to leave a little tail. I usually just try to pull it to the front or to the side to hold it out of the way. And how I like to stitch is I like to go up and down every other stitching hole. Oh, thank you, Donna. I'm excited for you guys to see the Christmas ones. What size beads do you use? I use a lot of different ones. I'm going to see if these work. I actually use some different ones on something else. These are size 11. Let's see if it'll focus in on those. So I've used some other ones as well, but they aren't available anymore, so I tried not to use them in tonight's video. You might want to use a beading needle for the beads. I will tell you that. Or you can use, like, sometimes I'll even use a cross stitch needle in a pinch. Can you tell us when the Christmas release is? I think October. I'm almost positive it's October. Brendan, am I right about that? Yeah, it's October. I had to think. So if you are in clubs, you'll get early access on the 1st. Isn't that right? October 1st. I don't see a link for the button eyes. It's in the description. I'll have Brennan pop it into the chat. So I've gone up and down each of the holes, and I started at one side, I came up to the center, and then to the other side. I'm going to leave these alone on the outer edge for now. Then we're going to come back. Now, you don't have to. If you want it to be more of an every other kind of patchwork stitch, you can totally do that. And if you are shopping from just another button company and grabbing the buttons for the eyes and things, you can definitely grab some of their other size eyes. They're great for all kinds of finishes. Any of the, I'm thinking, for example, Simon Says Stamp had some stitching dies, oops, last Christmas season, and I used some little teeny tiny ones from there, and they are just the perfect little size. There isn't a link in the description. Well, I know I added it. Did I forget to hit save out there? Hold, everyone. I will grab it. So sorry. I thought that I saved that. But I'm going to double check. I'm wondering if I called it something that Brendan isn't familiar with. So I'm going to look just to make sure. Oh, you're correct. I wonder what I did with all of those links. I added a whole bunch of links and I don't see any of them. Oh my gosh. Brendan, he won't be able to find them, Teresa. I know he won't. He won't know which one they are. 1 second. Well, I don't know what happened, but everything I typed was on my screen, on my desktop, and it disappeared. Brendan, you can try to find just another button company. They're called Sprinkles, and I don't know what color they are. They're the black ones. Otherwise, I'm going to have to grab them later. That's frustrating. I went out there and it showed saved on my computer screen, and I clicked refresh and they all disappeared. I had lots of different things added too. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. I don't know if it's because Brendan and I were both editing, but that is my guess. Okay, as I come back around, I'm going to tie it off. If anybody has the link, you can, and you know how to find it easily, you can grab it. Otherwise, I will have to add the link for the buttons later. So I'm going to line up the second or the third, pardon me, patch now, and I am going to do the same thing. We're going to stitch towards the inside and around to stitch this in place. Teresa says she always needs everything from just another button company. I know, it's dangerous. It is a bummer when the save doesn't work. I don't know what happened. I had a huge long list. It deleted more than just that, so I'm really frustrated. Brendan, other than the buttons, if you go to my other Patchwork Boo video, please add in the needles, the wool. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I had added in. That's frustrating. So again, I'm just going to stitch up and down. So let's talk about strands of floss. That is a personal preference. My sweet spot tends to be about 3 strands, and that is what I'm using tonight. So I am using 3 of the 6 strands from a skein of DMC. Sometimes I'll use 2, it just depends, but I'm really kind of liking 3. I feel like that gives really good coverage. And as soon as I stitch one side, I'm just going to come around. Oh, Donna cut out the feline pieces to copy the pillow. Oh, I'm so glad. I really loved that project. So I'm glad that you are going to be making one. All right, so I've just come back around and now we've stitched those 3 patches on. Oh, good, Laura. I'm so glad that this is a good way to unwind from your day. That makes me so happy. Brendan, if you want to put a poll up in the chat and ask who has done some felt stitching and who hasn't, that might be fun. That way we can see. Marianne says she started to use Aurifil instead of DMC. You can use 2 strands and use the loop method. Oh, that's a great idea. I do like using that, and I've used it a few times as well. I really wanted to use something that was very readily available tonight, so that's part of the reason I chose this. Okay, so let's get rid of all of our small pieces for now. Let's put all of them in a little tray so I don't lose anything. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to stitch the heart to the patch, and then we'll stitch the patch to the ghost. And I think this patch would look really cute on the hat, perhaps even on the witch boot if you wanted to. You could really customize it however you like. When you use crochet thread, are you able to split it like floss? No. No, I'm sure not. Oh, good, Kat. I'm glad. Oh gosh, 50% say that Patchwork Boo is your favorite design from the collection. Oh, that's so funny. Awesome. So you might notice I also picked really kind of soft Halloween colors. Is that what it's called? I don't know. So let me there we go. When you're starting out stitching things together, I always just kind of do a little flip because I want to make sure that I have it lined up. Once you've done a few stitches, I do normally find that they'll line up pretty well. And we're just going to do the same thing where we stitch this little heart to our patch. Pam was watching it in 2 times speed to catch up. Making some dinner. What are you making tonight, Pam? I made my favorite dinner, and I did make dinner before I came to do my live this evening because I'm scurrying to get a bunch of stuff done. I have a lot of deadlines, and I noticed that I did not eat lunch. So I made my favorite dinner, which is like sweet potatoes slices roasted, and then I brown hamburger and season it like you would for tacos. And then I made pico de gallo, and I eat it like the pardon me, I just spit. The sweet potatoes are, chips, and it's so good. I'm obsessed with it. I eat it all the time. Yeah, the white dryer balls you sent me at Christmas, Donna, I still love those white dryer balls. They are the perfect little display fillers. I love them. I actually use them for photography tons after you sent those. Soft Halloween colors are your favorite, Marianne said. I'm kind of digging them this year, Marianne. Oh, thank you, Tanya. These are great, and they're a great entryway into stitching if you're interested, if you're a paper crafter, because all you do is literally cut the felt with your dies. And it's so amazing. All right, so I've come around, and now I'm simply going to fill in all those little open spaces and go around again. Koi had to take oh, no. You had a had a little medical excursion today. Well, Koi, you deserved a nap. 100%. I hope you're taking it easy and relaxing. Halloween is a great start. I can tell you that I'm itching to get out my Halloween decorations. Does anyone else have their Halloween decor up? I thought I would try to get it out last weekend, but it didn't happen. So I'm thinking when I get home, it depends on how much I need to do for Stamptember. But when I get home from my little work trip, I may take a day off to get my Halloween decor out. Do you hear that, son, that needs to get my boxes down for me? Oh, Barb bought the bundle. Fantastic, Barb. Has anyone received theirs and already started stitching? I would love to know. Let me know in the chat. Okay. So I've come around, I finished stitching that, and now I'm just going to tie this off in the back, and I just tie a little knot. Anything that's hidden inside of the 2 layers for a dimensional type ornament or whatever, I don't care really what it looks like all that much. As long as it can be hidden inside, and this definitely can. All right, so we're going to now stitch this to the ghost little belly. And the reason I stitch the heart on before I stitch this patch, I don't want to pierce through all of the layers to stitch that on. Now you can, but I just prefer not to. So if there's any kind of layering piece like this, I will generally do all of the layering first and then stitch this onto the ghost. especially since there are not corresponding die cut holes on the ghost stomach. That makes it more customizable because if you want to forego the patch altogether and you just want to have a cute heart on your ghost, you can do that. It allows you to customize a lot more. So, what you're going to want is to have sharp needles. I really personally like a sharp tip needle. Anything, usually a 4 or a size 4 or 5. I think I put a 5 in the description, or I meant to. Maybe Brendan put it back in there for me. But anything like 3, 4, 5, sometimes a 6, whatever, just a nice sharp tip needle is the best. Let's go ahead so that you can see this a little better, because I am going to have to pierce through the ghost for this. I'm just going to try to make it so you can see. The little holes better. I'm just going to pop them out. Thanks, Brendan. Lori needed felt. She's planning on adding the Fright Night feline to a pillow made from Tim Holtz Halloween fabric blocks. Oh my gosh, Lori, you are going to have to share that when you get that done. I cannot wait to see it. What a fabulous idea. Laura says, question, when you die cut the felt, do you use the cutting plates that there are no plates designated for felt. It is the same sandwich you would use for paper crafting. Yep. So I stitch exactly the same way as I do for paper. Same sandwich and everything. I hope that helps. All right, so we're going to stitch on our little patch and we're going to do the exact same thing. Oh, Barbara, what a cute idea. She's making felt icons for Halloween to match, to put on barrettes for her granddaughter's Halloween dress. Cute. Just finished up the jingle enjoy videos, Barb said. Fabulous. I love hearing that. And you can see a sharp needle is just piercing right through the felt. So another thing I want to talk about while I'm stitching is the felt. There are different felts out there. If you want better results, I highly recommend 100% wool felt or a high quality felt blend. Most of the time, I try to stick to 100% wool felt. Really, the only time I use a wool blend is if it's a Benzie design wool blend, and it's because I like the color. I do not recommend the ones from the big box stores. They're going to shred. They're going to shred when you try to stitch them. Yep, I don't have any designated plates. Now, I will say when you die cut felt in your die cut machine, you might get the felt fuzzy stuff all over the place. I generally will just take like a dish scrubber brush. I have one that I use for this, and I just scrub my plate if I need to. Most of the time, I don't even do that. But if I have die cut loads of felt and my cutting plate looks really bad, but it's still good, it's still usable, I'll just scrub it or wash it off. And you could just wash it off with a little dish soap too if you wanted to. So are you the people here in the chat, let me know. I'm sure everybody here knows I'm team fall. Are you team fall or team summer? Do you want summer to last a little longer, or are you ready for fall? Because I'm ready for fall. The other great thing about using these light colors is I am able to just use my white floss for the entire stitch, which I do really like. You can switch though very easily. Use all the colors if you want to. And some designs definitely lend themselves to that. Brendan, I don't know why your comments aren't showing up for me. Oh my gosh, a lot of Team Fall. Are there any summer fans? You guys are all my people. Yeah, I agree, Susan. She said she would like to say fall, but she wants it to stay light longer. That is my only caveat, is I also would like it to stay light a little bit longer. Because when it gets dark outside, Nicole thinks it's time for bed. Donna's over it. Just a little longer. There we go. We have a vote for some summer. Karen is 1,000% fall. Whoa, Karen. There, Cat's Fancy says summer all the way. Oh, they are the poll results. Thank you, son. I forgot you told me that they're not showing up on my streaming software, which is a big bummer. Thank you, because there for a minute I was worried that we couldn't communicate this way. Although I do see your texts when they pop up, so thank you. How do you store your felt? Beatrice said. That's a great question. I actually store them in rainbow order in bins. I will go over all of those in another video. Probably not tonight because I try to keep my Tuesday evenings a little bit shorter, but I will definitely share all of that. I have some rolled felt still. I have sheets of felt, and I do keep them by color since that is how I look for them. Kathy says, happy that Stamptember releases are at noon. They have been for a couple of years, and that is the best decision Simon Says Stamp ever made. It makes my life so much more enjoyable. So, fun fact for everybody excited about Stamptember, I actually finished quite a few projects today that Brendan is mailing in to Simon Says Stamp headquarters for me for showing during live streams and such. So that's exciting. Okay, there's our cute little patch all sewn in place. Now, the only things really left to do here is any additional embellishing that we want and adding the mouth and the eyes. Pam is making soup, even though she did send a picture earlier today, and it's 122 in Phoenix, the surface of the sun, where I'm headed later this week. Is all I've got to say about that. Ashley says I like summer through about mid-July, then I'm done. Ashley, I would agree with that. I thought our weather here was lovely until about mid-July, and then it got real hot, and I said, oh, no, thank you. The end. I'm done. Let's stitch on our button eyes, and remember, I am using real buttons. Please forgive me. I will put the link in afterwards. We had a little kerfluffle with our linking issues, and we're sorry. These are buttons from Just Another Button Company for anybody who's familiar with them. And I like to use white floss for my buttons because it gives that nice little highlight. And we're just going to tie this here in place. You can also use the die cut felt buttons. You don't have to use a real button, but if you're like me and you have loads of buttons in your stash, some of these home decor felt type projects are perfect for using up our buttons. You thought you'd make a wall hanging out of your Halloween Quaker and then add cat and bucos. Oh, that would be so cute. I love all of the creative ideas. Oh, awesome, Lori. Oh, yes, all the getting ready for Stamptember. I made a lot of projects today. You guys know I like to tell on myself, right? So I'm just gonna tell on myself now. I worked so hard today that I didn't go put on makeup until I was cooking dinner. While my hamburger was browning and the potatoes were cooking, I went and put makeup on finally, and I had left my my clothes I wore to walk this morning were still on, and I was like, "Huh, well, I'll put on a nice shirt for you guys, but you guys can't see my bottom half, so I still have sweatpants on." Or not sweatpants, but you know, those lightweight workout pants? Yep. I thought you guys might get a kick out of that. That's the real life crafter right there. Okay, so here are our cute little eyes. I think I'm done with this white floss for now, and let's stitch the mouth. Now we are going to do a little additional embellishing because remember tonight's video is all about adding all that embellishing. So the first thing is I'm going to take my 3 strands of black embroidery floss and we're going to stitch the mouth. And it's just 3 little stitches. And just like that, our little patchwork boo has a smile. I love that. Barb, I'm glad you think that's funny. I told Brendan and he thought that was funny and he was like, "That sounds like a good plan." And I was like, "I don't really see the point at this point in my day to go make a real effort." I mean, I don't want to completely show up. Although I did film something for Patreon today and you guys are gonna get to see me, like, no makeup and everything. I don't care. Alright, so who are my paper crafters here? If you are a paper crafter, what do I like to add to my critters? Anyone know? Don't you think our little ghosty needs some eyelashes? So I have a beading needle here just because I'm using a single strand of floss and they're sharp. As opposed to like a cross stitch needle or anything like that. We're gonna try to give I haven't tried this yet, so who knows if this is gonna be cute, but I think so. I add eyelashes to lots of my felt critters. We are going to add a couple of eyelashes, I think, to each eye. We'll see what that looks like. And the great thing about this is you mess up, you can just pull it out. Oh, that's really cute. I like it. Okay, let me tie this. And Barb says she's at the age where she doesn't care about putting on makeup anymore either. Oh, Karen guessed. Yes. Oh, so many of you guys guessed. Oh, I love it. Brendan guessed too. Brendan's watched enough of these videos. He knows what his mom's gonna do. I thought little eyelashes, look at how cute that makes our little ghost. So let's do the same thing over here. Let's see if I can get him even. It's always the second one eye that I feel like I end up ripping out and having to restitch, but let's hope that tonight I don't have to. Lashes! You know, I didn't even think about the little red heart. You guys, I have an idea. Stick with me. We're gonna do something here in a minute. So let's do, is that too far? Oh, I actually think that looks good. Okay, we're going to go with it. So on the back, I'm just going to try to take the tiniest little stitch here since I tied it off already once. And I'm going to show you the back of my stitch and how it's going to start looking like a hot mess express. But again, it'll be inside. No one's going to know. So you can see that I just drug my floss across there. No worries. All right, so here's where we're at. Next, we are going to do a little bit of embellishing. So I was kind of thinking we're going to do a little trio of these little flower embellishments. And then we're going to stitch on a couple of these little leaves. So a trio of flowers and a couple of little leaves just for fun. And these flowers again are called the Rainbow Blossoms Embellishment Mix. I really like these. And I tried to pick a little bit more neutral color. I think we are going to stick to these white seed beads. Beatrice, do you have a favorite Stamptember set? I will tell you that I did Altenews card today, and I love it. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's my favorite. It's one of them. Just the whole card vibe is one of my favorites. But no, I don't have a favorite yet. Give me a little bit to I haven't done all of the cards yet. I definitely have them. I just haven't had a chance to totally take it in. All right. So, oh, actually, I have some green floss here, and this color is 580. Brendan, will you make a little note for me? I did not add this because I kind of forgot I was going to stitch these green leaves on. I'm going to stitch my leaves on, and then we will do our little seed bead embellishments. So I'm going to kind of do like this. And again, these little tiny leaves are from the Floral Beehive. No sneaks. Nope, no sneaks of it can be shown. Sorry, everybody. I would like to stay employed. Okay, and then we're gonna do this. What I love about the felt sets, look how cute those little leaves look. They even look cute just coming out from the heart, to be quite honest. I love that. Can you imagine Valentine's hearts with those little leaves? That would be super cute. Um, yep, no sneak peeks are allowed. But it's gonna be great fun. It always is great fun. It's always a lot. This year, I'm super excited, though, to have my sidekick. Brendan, you could be my sidekick. Uh, he's probably rolling his eyes right now. Yes, just like with Heroine, I couldn't do Heroine sneaks either. I know. Let's see. When will you start the Heroine videos? Your box came today. We get to start the videos on the 7th. Yep, can't share anything until the 7th. So I will start them that day. There's so much good stuff coming this month, isn't there? Isn't it fun? Barb, out of curiosity, when can you purchase the products for Stamptember? Stamptember starts on September 1st, and then there are special collaboration days and also special releases throughout the month. So you really just kind of have to, you can watch me, you can watch Simon Says Stamp, sign up for their emails, etc., for all of that good information. Okay, so I'm going to start tacking my little trio of little hearts here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to come up, and I did tie a little knot in the back of this. So I came up through the center of the sequin. And this is a flower sequin, but it goes for any sequin. And then you want to grab a bead. And the reason you need beads to hold them in place is you come up through the bead. So I know it's white on white, it's hard to see. We've got a flower, we've got a seed bead, and then you don't go back down through the seed bead. I know a lot of you already know this, but in case you don't, you go around your seed bead and back down through the center of your sequin. And that is what is going to tack that in place. Look how cute that is, right on your little ghosty. Yeah, it's the whole month. We celebrate all month long. Oh, so glad I'm mixing and matching. I'm glad you like it. Okay, so let's do the other two. And I did use a little pinky. I thought this pinky sequin was like almost a pinky orange. I like it. So, oh, see, some of my seed beads don't want to go over my needle. I hope I don't have to change my needle. That other one worked slick. Oh, that one works. Sometimes if one of them is a little, a little tight and it won't work, just pick a different one. And we're going to do the same thing. Pull that nice and tight. Look how cute those are. Isn't that fun? Is there a witch's hat for patchwork ghosts? There is not, but that would be really cute. I like that idea. Maybe we can see if they can do an add-on next year. That would be fun. Hey, Brendan, write that idea down. I might float it past them when I'm there. Okay? And then we're just going, and I'm just kind of grouping those flowers like so. I don't want to completely obscure the heart. So there's my sweet little sequins with seed beads. Oh, thank you, Blooming Stitches. She says she loves the ghost. Leslie says, thank goodness I make jewelry just so I can embellish my felt critters, right? Because it doesn't take very much at all. I love that. And what a great use for some of your other supplies for your other crafting. I think that is fabulous. Okay. So I think that is it for that. Now, we were talking about a little heart. I did not plan this, so one moment. Let me find the right set. I'm looking for a specific die, and it's probably not going to be where I hope it is. Oh, wait. That one would work. That's not the one I was thinking, though. Well, let's just use the one we found. So, I often like to put a little heart on the back end, the little hind end of my critters or any of those things. So let's find something that kind of coordinates. I don't think red would be great, but I have a little bit of pink. I think a little pink heart would be cute. Or a little peach one. Nah, let's do it. No, I changed my mind again. I think I'm going to do this little soft peachy color. Would the witch hat from Simon Hurley's Bewitched fit the ghost? I don't know. I would have to look at it. I think I have that die, but I'm not 100%. Pam says purple. Purple is always Pam's answer. Always. Pam, that makes me laugh. I was trying to make it match the rest of my ghost. Yes, on the back, Lori said. I agree. I think they're cute on the back. Okay, so I'm going to grab my 3 strands of floss. And we're just going to stitch it down. Now, this little button is from the gingerbread set. There's also one in the snowman, the star snowman. Either one of those is going to, well, I think that one has buttons. Maybe it's this one. Anyway, I like this one because it looks like a little heart button. You could actually use a heart button if you wanted to as well. That would have been cute. But we're going to use the felt. And we're just going to stitch that down. Unless I should stitch a other little heart on here. Maybe I should, huh? That would be cute. Who needs to match? Pam, I need to make you a purple embellished ghost, don't I? Maybe that will be the example I bring to demo in Phoenix. Okay, I love that. Now, I'm kind of thinking it might be cute to add an additional little heart. I'm trying to see if these are going to be too close to the same color. I think an actual little heart button next to it might be kind of cute. I think my oranges, oh, let's use the yellow. Oh no, I did it wrong. Thank you. I need to fix this. Thank you for whoever said that because I was totally being, thank goodness that was only one little stitch. Okay, pretend that didn't happen. Don't be me. Okay, put your pieces together so you make sure and do it correctly. Thank you, thank you, thank you for whoever said that. I missed it. The chat went flying by. Yeah, tisk tisk. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, nice. Setting up your stitchy spot. I did. Thank you. Karen said it too. You guys are so funny. No, you guys all saw it backwards. That would have been a disaster. I would have caught it eventually, but probably not till after I'd already stitched the other button on, and I would have been super mad. Okay. Let's see. Let's find a little tiny yellow button to match the yellow of this. I think that's going to be adorable. And these are just another button company as well. And this color is called Mustard. Oh, awesome! I'm so excited they're going to be there. Oh, that's so fun. Using a garland, making the ghosts and the witch hats. Oh, that's going to be so cute. You'll have to share photos when you're done. I love finding ways to incorporate like real buttons with my little felt ones. Look how cute that is on the back. And it kind of gives that same patchwork vibe as our ghost. Another fun idea, I'm not going to do it tonight just to save time, but sometimes just adding seed beads, you don't even have to add a sequin. I like the little scattered seed beads throughout as well. Brendan, Linda wants to know if my performance review has been completed. Look, after tonight, it's going to be bad. All right, so we have our front, we have our back, and now what we're going to do is we're going to place them back to back. That looks much better. Make sure they're lined up. And we are going to start stitching these two pieces together. Now, this definitely is the most time-consuming part. I have a really long length of floss. I don't normally recommend this, but I didn't really want to re-thread my floss a bunch of times, so hopefully this is going to work. I am going to start down here, and when I stitch them together, I start in between the two layers. So I'm going to come up in one of those stitching holes there, and I'm going to keep my end out of the way as much as possible. And you're going to stitch exactly like we've talked about, where you go up and down each of the stitching holes. And when we get close to back to where we started, going every other, doing kind of a running stitch, if you will, then we will, oh, what's going on there? I don't really like that. There we go. Let's make sure that our thread looks nice. We'll stuff it before we go around that second time. And just like any time, I think when you start, the stitch is the trickiest part. That's where you're really gonna want to make sure you're lining those 2 layers up, because in this case, you want your back and your front to look just as nice. Uh-oh. We'll be holding that review when I get back from Arizona. Oh, man. Something to look forward to. Not. Hey, look, I worked real hard today to make hopefully his life easier while I'm gone. His life and mine. He's open to bribes. He is open to bribes. I'm pretty sure I can bribe him. If I wasn't stitching this on camera, I probably wouldn't use this long, although it is nice not to have to use another strand. I just didn't wanna have so I have already had a bunch of needles pre-threaded, ready to roll, so I was trying to not have too many. I can stay with Pam. Oh, I didn't read the rest of the message. No, I didn't. You'll have to tell me later what you said, or you'll have to tell me now. I'm trying to make sure that I stitch nice. You guys are all laughing. Do you find the felt blend is stronger? No, not necessarily. I generally will pick the 100% wool. Brendan isn't coming with me. I offered to bring him, but he said he didn't want to. I think he's afraid of you guys. I'm kidding. I have assistance there, so he doesn't need to help me this time. Uh, some some of the gals for Spellbinders are helping me, so you could be tempted to give a good score if you brought me a margarita or buy you a margarita and fajitas. I know, you are bribable, and I do that all the time. So, I can make that happen. Someone does have to watch the pets. That's what we have the other brother for. Michelle wants to know where you like to go, Brendan. Oh, man, I got a knot. Hold, please. This is why I don't use this long of a link. I hope that I can fix this. There's my big thinking for tonight, that I could stitch this without having a knot. Man. I'm trying to be nice since I'm on camera, but I have to tell you, this is really ticking me off. Okay, I might have to. Let's see. Let's not rip up our whole beautiful design. Let's see how bad that little knot is. Surely I can get this out, right? It's always when it's, oh, I did get it out. Yes, not a knot. All right. Let me make sure I know what I'm doing now that I got that out. Barbara, are you talking about stamp timber times being Eastern? Yes. Karen says you can do it. Thanks, Karen. I needed you to cheerlead me. I didn't really want to cut it off in the middle. If at all possible, it isn't the end of the world if you can't make it all the way around, but I will tell you that you have to get creative. So, if at all possible, I always like to not have to cut it off and get creative. I like to have a long enough strand of floss to at least make it around once. Then I can tie it back where I started, and if you have to cut another strand, it's okay. But that's how I kinda like to do it. Oh, are you kidding me right now? Okay, so this is a real good example of do as I say, not as I do. Don't use this long of a strand. Thanks, Michelle. Ugh, okay. I keep getting caught on everything on my desk too. I always get knots with long strands. I know this is why I don't like to use this long of a strand. Let me untangle really quick. So this is the most uninteresting part, pretty much, but that's okay. We can chat. We can chat about all the things. We were all sending you get out knot vibes. Thanks, Koi. Even though this part is probably the most time consuming and the least fun, let's face it, it's the assembly portion of it. And I always think the embellishing is the much more fun part. This part is the critical part in making sure that your cute little plush ornament looks nice. And so it is really important to just take that time to stitch around the whole thing. And make sure that you are getting in each of those stitching holes. Flip it over if you need to. Make sure you're lining it up. So what's everybody working on tonight? Are you stitching? Are you making cards? Are you die cutting? Let me know. Oh, amazing, Donna. Which design from Robin Pickens did you just stitch? I love Robin, by the way. She is amazing. Thank you, Leslie. That's so nice of you. Thank you. Pam, did you stitch a Robin design? I know you kitted up several of them. Donna, Pam here, who's here in the chat, she kitted up a ton of robins. Oh, it's getting a little shorter now, so it's flowing a little better, as you can see. I really feel like it just takes, especially when you have that longer strand of floss, it just takes a little bit to get going. Coloring for upcoming projects, fantastic. Oh, speaking of coloring, I will be doing a live, Brennan, am I right? Is it September the 8th? With the Olo fine tip nib markers. So definitely join us for a Tuesday evening live. It will be a Tuesday, and I will be coloring live. And I think I have not confirmed this, but I think we can get Lori Craig from Olo to possibly maybe join me on camera. I think that would be awesome. If not in person, we will send her a link and have her join here on camera. That way she could be in the comfort of her own house too, but that way she can answer you guys' Olo questions and all of that good stuff. Yes, September the 8th. Perfect. Who has got their fine tip Olo nibs either ordered What do you think about sequins and beads in the cat's eyes? Oh, Kathy, that is an awesome idea. Seasons, 2 down, 2 to go. Those are my favorite, Donna. I'm so excited. Which ones did you already get done? Cross-stitching a sampler called Gathering Honey. Fantastic. Aw, you're going to make cards because your daughter just started college. Well, congratulations to your daughter, and I hope she has a wonderful school year, and I hope you find lots of things to keep you busy. That's always so hard. Not tried the Olo markers yet. Well, great. We will have Lori to answer. I say that. I better confirm with her. She did say she would I could do it on my own or not. So, you've done fall and spring. I love those. Which one's next? Say winter, say winter. I like the winter one. I like all of them. They're so beautiful. Okay, we are getting back close to where we began. And Brennan, you may check the description box. And if it's not in there, please go grab my wool roving link that I like to use for stuffing. It's from the other Patchwork Ghost video, the edited one. That was one of the links I think that maybe disappeared when I, whatever happened. Oh, stitching the hands-on design trick or treat round. Did you see the Primrose Cottage Halloween release? Yeah, it's super cute. Winter, yay, Donna! Karen says she's gonna text her and let her know I volunteered her. Well, she did, in fairness, Karen. Lori did volunteer herself. I just didn't really confirm with her, but I think it would be fun if we had her like have a split screen and Lori can be answering questions and telling you guys all about all of the technical side of things while I color. So, I have a very fun project planned. I already have it all planned out, so I'm super excited about that. Um, Lori is doing one. She's doing something with Jen Shirkus, I think. Oh, am I right about that? Maybe she's doing her own. But yeah, there's going to be lots of inspiration. So we call that voluntold. Michelle, that's 100%. Okay. Let me do one more stitch. So let's talk about stuffing our little guy. So you can see that I probably have about an inch to an inch and a half down here along the bottom edge. And I'm just going to pull, not pull hard, just kind of move rather my ends out of the way. This is called a Benzie stuffing tool, and I love this thing. It is fabulous. You can get it at Benzie, but Simon Says Stamp has it as well. And then I am going to stuff with some Corriedale roving. This is my favorite. I use this to stuff all kinds of finishes and things. And I have been using it for my wool projects too. So what I'm going to do, you hardly need any. For these little plushes, it does not take much. And you definitely don't want to overstuff because unlike something you've sewn, you can burst these seams. You don't want to stress them. So I like to take just a little bit here and I'm just going to loft it between my fingers and I'll probably even take a little less. And then I just kind of pull it around my little end here. I kind of open up my shape and I'm just going to kind of gently push that little piece in. I'm going to stuff it down here as far away from my opening and put in a little bit. And we're going to continue to do that until we get this filled. Michelle says she bought that. She hopes to start die cutting felt this weekend and start her first project. Oh my gosh, yay, Michelle. That is so exciting. Beatrice, can you just change? I believe you can just change the end, but I don't want to tell you wrong. I'll definitely, we definitely need to have Lori on to answer all the questions, for sure. Laura says she walked away for a minute and came back to an adorable ghost. I love that roving. Donna, I'm so glad that you do. Actually, that's probably too much. Let's not try to stuff all of it in at one time, Nicole. And we're just going to kind of carefully push it in. Just take your time. This is the part I really try to be super careful. And we're going to stuff a little bit more. Look how cute our little ghostie's getting. Oh no, Michelle. She says each time she opens her wallet, it screams. We don't want it to scream. You do know you can come visit, the lives and such, and you don't have to shop. I mean, I get it. I do the same thing. I always want the things too. So, we're crafters. We need all the things. Okay, let's see. This might be about enough. I think it's going to be. So you can see I just took little bits. I want some of this to be kind of down here. And I am not going to overstuff it at all. So let's look at it from the side. See how it's just a nice little poof and it's not terribly stuffed. You can use polyester fiber fill for sure. You can use whatever stuffing material you like. This is just what I've been finding I really have been enjoying lately. All right. So let's finish stitching. I'm probably not going to go all the way around again on camera tonight, just because it'll just simply be going around again. But let me at least get this shut because I have a couple more things I want to add. She says, yeah, whatever. I know. I was trying to be a positive thinker though, Michelle. Renea says it's that I wanted all cinder. 100%. I am still live, Amy. We're going just a little longer than I normally go on Tuesdays because I wanted to share just a couple more things. Now, here as I finish stitching around once, keep in mind I will go all the way around again to, whoops, oh dang it, to finish stitching this shut. Okay, one moment. I'm so sorry, everybody. My long thread is still getting on my nerves. It's even longer than what I really needed. Okay. So, I need to go this direction to finish. I will go all the way around again to enclose all of this, but I don't need to do that to finish showing you a couple of little things. So the first thing, let's use this one. I love doll making needles. They're long. This is what I use to string beads and stuff on or anything like that. But if you want to turn your little plushes into a hanging ornament, I like to take a thicker twine. I'm just going to take, this is some white twine. I don't even know where it's from. And what I do to make it a hanging ornament is I will take my doll making needle in between the two layers, kind of up towards the top. And then I'm going to push it out. And because they're nice long needles, they go through really easily. That might even be too many. Let me go up here. So we're just going to take it underneath those stitches. It won't do anything when I have to stitch back around it or anything like that. And I'm just going to gently pull that through. until I have threaded my little hanger out the top. And I'm just going to and you could do this with any kind of twine. If you've got the cute lawn fawn twines, those are fabulous actually. And then I'm just going to knot that, and I've made a cute little hanger either for a gift, for a Halloween tree, etc. So there is my hanger for that. The final thing I wanted to do tonight is I actually have some of this gold, I think it's called pale gold and white silk ribbon. And Brendan, you can grab the link for this from my shop. And I tied it into a tiny little bow. And I thought our little ghost needed a little bow up here on her head. So let's cut this short. We don't want this super long. You could also maybe make a little bow with some of those dimensional bows and things, but I thought the colors of this were perfect. And we're going to kind of tuck it by the patch, kind of like that. Tuck it up here, tack it up here by your head. And what I'm going to do, you started the Robin Pickens ones, but then you've been doing the Primrose House rules. Yes. Okay. So I just have my beading needle here again. And what I'm going to do, you could glue it on if you wanted to. I actually knotted it, and I am going to come from the front, and I'm just going to kind of try to hit my stitching holes with this as well, so that I'm kind of going to hide my little knot here in the front. And then I'm going to come back through the front of my little ghosty, and I'm going to put a little stitch through my ribbon. Or my little bow, pardon me. That's my ribbon bow. And we're just going to stitch this in place. And I'm trying to go through those stitching holes in the back so that we can hide it. Okay. And then I'm just going to make a little knot up here. So I'm just going to do like pinch it a little bit and grab just a little bit of my felt. And I've got left a little loop here, and I'm going to go through once, and I'm going to go through twice, and I'm just going to pull that nice and tight and cut that really close. Let's find the embroidery scissors. And that should have tacked on our little bow. And you can fuss around with it and play with it. So here is our sweet little ghost. I will go around and stitch it again, and then we'll share the photos on social media. But I hope this gives you maybe a few ideas on how to embellish with a few things you might already have in your craft stash, ways to customize it. We had some little hearts and things on the little behind of our ghost, just cute little ways that you can add all of those extra little touches. Okay, does anybody have any questions for me before I let you guys go for the evening? Can't wait to work on this. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, let me bring myself back up here. Okay, friends, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you found it informative and maybe doable to watch me do it live. There is a tiny bit of stitching left, but not a lot, so you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it for sure. Super fun. Let me know if you would like to see another felt stitching live, and let me know in the comments if even you can do it now or you can do it when the live is over. If you're watching the replay, let me know what other set you would like to see stitched live. I would love to do another one of these evenings. So Um, how did I sew the letters on the garland? That's a great question. So I still, let me grab this. So I used a double, you can't see that. I used a heat and bond fusible on my felt. So what I did was I fused the fusible on the back. I will do a tutorial. It's just not in tonight's video, but I will do a tutorial for it. So I fused the heat and bond onto one side of the felt. I ran it through my die cut machine, and then I peeled it off and I ironed it onto the felt. So that is how those letters were secured, since they're not stitching letters. I hope that helps a little bit, but that's how I did it. And if you want to see an example of that, we can definitely work that into another video one of these days. Great question. Anybody else? Caroline, you can always watch it on the replay. Yes, another felt stitch. Okay, you guys vote for what you'd like to see, or if you're kind of thinking you'd like to see one of the Christmas ones, we can do that too, or we could do both. So let me know. Any chance for felt stitching in September? Perhaps we shall see. More would be amazing. Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, everybody. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Just a reminder, I will not be live on Friday. I'm trying to get my act together to have a premiere for you, though. I'm not teaching on Friday, so I can probably, be there to answer some questions for a premiere. So we're going to try to have a premiere up for you at 1 p.m. Central Time at the same time I do a live. So stay tuned for that. I do have new videos. If you're a stitcher and you watch my floss tube videos, I will have a floss tube video. I already have it filmed, and that will go up on Sunday. And guess what? The project bag is done. So I will and finally have all of my footage. So I will have that for you guys as well. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. If you are going to be in Phoenix, I will see you there. Otherwise, I will see you guys all live next Tuesday evening. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Bye, everybody.